starting with the first player introduced earlier. Please welcome to the stage, Majijej. Now, Majijej, you've already been in the heat in that previous match. How did you feel that went, and what are you hoping to perhaps change now in match number 2? This is the one that counts.
You know what? I am gonna press forward harder, so I go faster.
Following the advice of chat, yeah?
Because I didn't push it hard enough earlier. That was totally why I failed.
That sounds like a good idea. Okay. All right. Following the advice of Twitch chat. Let's see if it pays off. Please have your seat and...
I'm gonna listen to the backseaters.
Okay.
Woo!
Enjoy the match, Majijej.
Yes. And once again, we will also welcome the last player that seemed to have the greatest pace on the maps. Please welcome in Kenny. So we saw some crazy good performance here from you last time. Do you think you have what it takes to take home this single-player competition?
I think I have what it takes, but now I guess it's time to shine. I have to go.
Definitely. Let's give it a hand for Kenny.
And the final player joining us here live on stage, the also lovely Swedish Trackmania streamer, Nina. Please come up here. Now, Nina, you guys worked together in that last match. How are you going to try to beat your teammate and the other team as well in this 1 versus 1 versus 1 versus 1?
That was the warm-up, right?
That was the warm-up, yep. That one doesn't count.
No,
Do you have any plan going into this?
Succeed.
Succeed.
Yeah, focus, full focus, all right?
Full focus. Okay, Dala. Let's go. Let's give it up one more time for Nina. Now, the 2 streamers joining us online is ZeratoR, the biggest French Trackmania streamer hosting tournaments in France, like the one he did this summer with 15,000 people, and BagheraJones. She's also joining us, and we will have their feeds up on the screen so you can see them, but they are not going to be joining us here for an interview quickly before the match, so I think we are just about to get into it.
I think we are. Let's jump back into the caster's booth and take a look at the players.
So just to summarize the format while we get over there, they are playing a match to 100 points. We will only be playing for the winner, and the winner will be winning that nice trophy that we can see in the background. And do you have any trophies, Jnic?
Oh, I have multiple trophies at home. I don't really show them. But,
you don't show them. Yeah, you don't have it in the background.
Yep, but you can use the trophies to different things. You know, sometimes you just want a big glass. You can call it a mega one.
Ah, mega glass.
A mega glass.
That you can drink mega pints from. True.
Yeah.
You know, I don't have a lot of trophies either. So, you know, if you can get one here to display, so you can brag to your mom and say that you are actually working in a real job, that is something that you can perhaps put on the shelf.
True.
So the players are getting ready here. And yeah, I mean, we saw Kenny. Kenny is looking very fast here. He might be the favorite. Do you think anyone has a chance to beat him?
I do think people have a chance to beat him, of course, because not only is it about consistency, but it's also about nerves. Now there's nobody you can rely on. Now you're all alone. Kenny did show that he had a lot of consistency, but can he have it on the other maps we haven't seen yet? That's also a question.
Yeah, he was very good on, for example, Salmon that we saw, but there is that really tricky map in Melee, the hardest map in the map pack.
That is
one
true.
We actually didn't see them play that much, and we saw it in the youth final where they really struggled on that.
That's true, and that is definitely a tricky one. I'm looking forward to seeing it. Now, there are, of course, as we've said, a few differences between the maps that are being played right here and the maps that the pros are playing, and that is because we need to make just a few adjustments to make it more friendly towards the average player.
Yeah, I mean, the pro maps are literally made with an evil design. They give you not enough space, they set up for the turns are difficult, the jumps are difficult. They want the players to fail almost to really push out the excellence from each one of them. Here, the bar has been lowered a little bit, so the track design is more it makes more sense, really. It's just give a bit more space.
But that doesn't take away from the track still being very, very difficult. There is a prestigious tournament happening every single day called Cup of the Day, and I don't think many of the tracks are as technical as these ones.
That's true. That's very true, that these are more difficult than that, and in those ones you do crash a lot as well. So here, if they can keep the car away from the walls, and as Majijej said, press the forward button harder, yeah, it sounds like a good winning strategy.
Absolutely. I mean, I've heard about the strategy about pressing the forward button really, really hard, but I haven't gotten it to work myself, unfortunately.
The one that I like, and I used to do as a kid as well, is if you tilt with the turns when you drive, you also go a bit faster.
That's crazy.
The car moves faster because you avoid the air.
Not to talk about the skins. If you have a good skin in a video game, you just become better.
Oh, true. A good car skin will certainly make you faster in this one.
Absolutely.
Now, which camera do you think makes you the fastest here?
The camera, if you don't play Cam 1, I don't know. That's the only camera I can play with.
Yeah, camera 1 or it's weird, right?
Yep. But I know that, for example, we have a contender coming in later called Junior, who plays with an alternate version of the camera 3. So not only does he play from the perspective of the player, he plays from the perspective of the front of the car.
He literally can't even see the car.
He can't see the car.
There's a funny quote from Carl Jr. where it's just like, wait, there's a car in this game?
Yeah.
Because he's just making the screen move fast. He can't even see wheels or anything.
That's so weird, yeah. So he cannot see where the wheels are in comparison to the walls or anything. He just has a feeling of where the car is compared to the camera.
It's just a raw feeling over tens of thousands of hours and over 10 years of playing.
What I think is weird is that he can't see the front of the map. Like, he can only see the next turn.
Yeah, but that's the entire point. It's like yesterday on stage, we had to get them set up with custom resolutions because the players didn't want to play in 1080p. They wanted to stretch the resolution further so that they could see the corners better. So they had to set that up individually.
We see that a lot as well in different types of games. Like, we have FPS games that will have these stretched resolutions to be a little bit easier to aim that middle of the screen somewhere.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, they do it in other games. It's just you don't think about it for a racing game, but nope, these players do.
They definitely do, and every single competitive advantage can be what makes you just that little bit better than the others.
I don't think that will come too much into play here for the streamer tournament. The stretch resolution,
probably not.
Because that's like ultra gamer stuff. That's when you're really into it.
There's also, there's a difference between being a pro player and being a streamer. As a streamer, you obviously want to give the best experience to the people watching, and maybe watching a super stretched resolution is not the most fun experience for some people.
That's very interesting when you have like the cars filling up the entire screen, and sure, you can drive fast, but it's hard to see what's going on. So we will at least be watching from the pleasant Camera 1 experience, whatever the players choose to play with, and hopefully they'll be able to put up some good times.
Absolutely, but yeah, we're talking about these cameras. There are 3 different ones that the players can choose from. Camera 1, which gives you a great overview of the car and of the track. Camera 2, which has more of this feeling of that Virtual talked about, driving with the car, you tilt with the car. And then there's camera 3, where you look from the driver's perspective.
You're sitting in the car, basically. You can see the dashboard, you can see the mirrors.
Or you see the hands.
Yeah. I didn't even notice that when I started, that the hands are moving.
Yeah,
and he holds the wheel.
It's cool.
The players are readying up here. We have gotten set up on the server, and I think we're moments away from kicking off the streamer tournament. To recap the players, Majijej, Nina, and Kenny are playing here on stage. You can see their cameras as they're getting ready. And then joining us online is BagheraJones and ZeratoR, 2 streamers that are very influential in the Trackmania space. ZeratoR hosting a lot of events, BagheraJones having streamed Trackmania for several years. Here, we will see who is the best streamer at Trackmania and who gets the Arctic Gaming Experience trophy.
Absolutely. I am very, very hyped out for this, as well as we see more people on the track at once as we see in the other games. And I think it's going to be very interesting to see who can clutch out this final one, like, streamer tournament where you can't rely on anybody else.
And with that, let's get into it. Let's load up on the server. One more round of applause for our streamers. Here we go. So it looks like the first track here is Nordland, the track we didn't see them play last time, and maybe this is a map where players like Majijej or Baghera or ZeratoR even can try to beat Kenny. He looked quite unstoppable on Arctic that we saw, And on, we did not see Budo either, did we?
I don't think so, no. But hopefully we're going to be able to see that. The quarter pipe jumps there are going to be very cool to see from the streamers.
Yeah, I think we saw Arctic and, what was the other map? Do you remember?
We saw Arctic and we saw the one with Salmon, I think it was.
Salmon, yes, that's correct. So 3 maps are unknown here for what the players can dish out. Kenny going for a swim in the warm-up. Electing not to
I mean, the
drive
weather
track.
is great today, so
It's amazing,
you
yeah.
know, maybe he was just a little hot and needed something to cool down with.
There was some players that actually did go for a swim in their week up here in northern Norway, and though the weather is nice, bathing in the North Sea is not that comfortable, really. I think it's pretty cold.
I mean, have you tried it?
I have a couple of years ago, but not on this trip. I'm not going to try either.
I mean, I've never tried to swim in a cold sea, so I think I'm going to skip. I don't think I have the mental to step into it, honestly.
Yeah, you kind of just got to do it just as they're starting here. Here we go with the first round. Now, the point repetition, so the points you score per round, you get 10 for first, 6, 4, and 3, and 2 for the next positions. And we're looking here at the start as they're trying to keep up with Kenny, who's already gotten off to a half a second lead, but Majijej's right there, good speed down the hill, commits at full throttle. Oh, ZeratoR missing the drift a little bit, so it will perhaps be between Majijej and Kenny for this first round, but already here you can see Majijej putting up a bigger fight than she was able to do on the other maps.
Absolutely. That was a great drift there from Majijej and a nice inside line, and she might be able to gain a little bit of time there on Kenny, but she did release a little bit of that right-handed
Yeah,
drift.
but that was all for the setup. That looks good. Now the speed on the uphill is going to carry all the way, and the gap remains just about 2/10 here before the ending. Now the ending jumps are a bit easier here to manage towards the finish. Kenny carrying the speed. Does he get the turn through? That should be a win for Kenny, but Majijej with a good second place. ZeratoR blocking it in. Oh, never mind. ZeratoR missed. Nina gets third. And it is our 3 local streamers here in the stadium that get top 3.
I mean, it could be the energy from the crowd going
It's
into the
definitely the
streamers
crowd.
here.
The advantage of the crowd here, absolutely.
It's nice to hear them here. We can hear them as well. We can hear you guys cheer. It's wonderful. It gives a great energy to the station.
I mean, it's so cool because a lot of the people in the crowd here are direct viewers of these streamers that decided to travel all the way to northern Norway to meet them and hang out and go for activities. So the people that have flown out from all over the world to go here, it makes it truly special.
Absolutely. ZeratoR going for a very nice straight jump there. Low air time, but once again, seems to be a battle between Majijej and Kenny. Kenny, a little bit far away, tries to extend his lead, about a half a second separating the 2 top players.
Small wall touch.
Majijej getting a slowdown. ZeratoR now inheriting that second place, but Kenny is far ahead.
Yeah, that is a strong lead there for Kenny, who is now looking to get a double up, 10 points to 20. The lead is about 2 seconds here, so it is going to require a mistake for ZeratoR to catch up.
Yes,
There's
but we
only
did
one turn
see
left.
a mistake happening here in the ending. It is possible to hit the corner of that uphill and miss the finish, but Kenny did secure that second 10-pointer. And this kind of reminds me of the first match yesterday on this same map where Carl Jr. got 5 victories in a row on Salmon.
He did. That was incredible to watch. Kenny, though, is maybe going to do the same, but I think for Carl, you can kind of rely on that, his raw game experience. He won't crash and whatnot. Here, you know, these players, they have played the game a couple of 100 hours each, but I think there's more variance that can happen. Oh, Nina into the wall in the start there.
That is a crazy car skin.
Yeah,
there
that's a
from
really cool. I
Majijej.
think it's her own stream car skin. A lot of cool art on there, so
Very
driving
nice.
a drip mobile through the tracks.
Yes, that's what we call it. Okay. But Majijej has the lead this time, has the edge over Kenny, and now she is able to hopefully take home these 10 points currently. She does drive quite well. Kenny trying to push in, getting just a little bit closer here, going for a low line, but
This is strong from Majijej. Great lines all the way through onto the plastic here. leading far ahead of Kenny. Kenny not with the best plastic line either. This lead is going to extend to almost a second. One turn left for Majijej, just has to avoid any crashes here, and the win will be hers. She could not get too many wins over Kenny in the 2v2, but here in the 1v1 in the free-for-all, Majijej secures a 10.
And we have the cheer gang in the crowd. Now, we might be a little bit biased here because if Majijej wins, we will get the trophy at our home as well.
Yeah, it would definitely fit well into the streamer house that we inherit. But we need Majijej to get a couple more 10s for that and defeat Kenny. It's going to be tough.
It is going to be tough. Kenny has showed us some incredible pace, and once again, already, he's going to be in the lead. He gets some low airtime there in the start, which propels his car quite a lot forward because he's able to accelerate before the others. As you saw right there, Majijej did get quite a long jump, and that's going to give Nina the opportunity to inherit that second place, and now Nina might be able to take up the fight with Kenny.
Yeah, Kenny has gotten onto a clean run here, though. Majijej, with more speed, will overtake her past teammate of Nina in that uphill, and now looking for that low air time. Great jump there. That's going to put her a bit closer to Kenny, but it's still 1.7 seconds. He got the plastic turn better this time around, Kenny, and a comeback will be tough. 1.5 seconds. Can Kenny get that last turn right down the hill here? And it should be, if we avoid any mishaps into that finish, just safing it through, getting the points collected. Majijej with 6, Nina with 4, ZeratoR getting 3 here, and Baghera getting the 2.
So Kenny does seem to try to make a little bit of a statement happening, trying to push away from the other players, but Majijej is consistently also getting second and first, so she's not trailing too far behind.
Yeah, she's doing great so far. Last round on Nordland. If there's any I don't even know anymore.
If there's any unpredictable things that are going to be happening here in a second, as Majijej currently gets a crazy good start and gets a lead over everybody else. ZeratoR this time on second place, where Kenny will take that third place for now. If we take a look here at the front 3 people, we can see ZeratoR is trying to push in on Kenny and Majijej, but Majijej has a really strong lead, eating a little bit of that penalty dirt, but that is just fine. Kenny trying to see if he can get a little bit of an edge here as we enter the grass.
Yeah, unrealized potential was the word I was looking for. It took a while to appear to my brain here. We do see Majijej getting some of that in this run, leading by half a second against Kenny into that last turn. Is she going to get another point? 10-pointer here is Kenny. Oh, into the corner. This could be another win for Majijej here. The last round of Nordland, just into the finish there, and she gets the job done. Oh, and very close there for third.
Majijej is getting a little bit closer here to Kenny. And this could be a very interesting final if they both get finalist position here.
They do look like the 2 clear favorites.
We played till 100, right?
Yep.
So currently Kenny is closing up to that halfway point. But Majijej is trailing really, really close behind. But still, ZeratoR is not that far off, and he might have a map that he likes more than the others.
Yeah, now though, we do look back to the past streamer match where Kenny was consistently faster here on Salmon. It is played again. And now Majijej, to win and pass Kenny, she needs to outperform him in this second heat.
But as we talked about here, as we can see in the chat, it looks like the next map is going to be Border, which is a very interesting map that I'm looking forward to seeing the players drive on, because it has some of these crazy jumps that you can really just inch out a little bit more than your opponent.
I like that even in the B version of the maps, they still kept the quarter pipe jump the same.
Yeah.
It is the identity of the map. It would be too much of a shame to remove it, so the streamers are going to have to challenge each other on that. But here again in the warm-up, you do see Kenny leading by a solid margin.
I think it's because Kenny has a good understanding of the drift mechanic on some of those tight turns. He really pushes it hard there. So I think that's what propels him forward compared to his competition.
Yeah, it's weird how much time you can gain and lose in drifts. Even just your setup, even if it's how much you press brake and then how much you release and whatnot. There's a lot that goes into it. And understanding just what makes you fast, what doesn't, takes a lot of time to learn. But if you learn it, yeah, you're going to go fast.
Absolutely. Nina there going for a little bit of a drift setup on the uphill. It would have costed her too much of that exit speed, and then she's not going to be able to jump into that risky finish.
I do like that. Look at this car skin too. It lights up when she brakes. All the streamers using their own community's car skins, which I believe you can get by joining their club in the game. But
Yes.
it does make it feel like a little bit more like a faction versus faction type of match.
Absolutely.
They're representing their communities.
Yeah,
in
the
this one.
content creators, they are able to be as, customizing their own brand as possible, and they definitely show it off here.
Yeah, they do. You have the trademark green ZeratoR car that you know and instantly recognize. You have Majijej with the purple, the chair gang, Nina representing the Ninadore Ohana, her family of viewers, and then also Baghera and Kenny here with their own respective community car skins. It's nice to see, and it's also nice to see ZeratoR here as he's given a challenge to Kenny on this map. Closer than they were in the 2v2 now. Can he beat his teammate? Maybe crack a joke here to make Kenny fit off his game?
Yeah, we heard that ZeratoR here earlier did
look at this.
joke a lot to Kenny in the voice call, and now it looks like ZeratoR does overtake, goes for a little bit of a wider line there in the drift, and Kenny is right back up into first place as we go into the final section of the map here. ZeratoR setting up with a little bit of a drift so he can slow down to take this right-hander close to the corner, getting as much exit speed as possible, but Kenny did seem to do it just well, and he will take home 10 points
there. Great round, a great time as well. We saw them drive. We saw even Kenny do a 107 earlier, but most of the winning times were around 109.
Yeah, but Kenny really is showing just how fast he is on this map as well. Currently, he's jumping over that 50-point threshold, now over halfway to becoming a finalist.
He is, but closing out the finalists can be stressful. It can be tricky.
Oh, absolutely.
Because in the 2v2, they didn't have to do that effectively. But here, it's all in your own hands. You have to win once you reach 100.
Once you're a finalist, nobody's there to help you and everybody's there to deny you,
Yep.
right?
They all want you to fail.
In a very friendly
In a friendly sportsman way, because this is a streamer match, and we are not that competitive.
No, not at all. We would never be competitive. Not in any game, ever.
Ever, no. It's just for content, I swear. I don't want the trophy that much.
No.
No.
But yeah, here we have, once again, Kenny in the lead. Majijej and ZeratoR are fighting for that second place. ZeratoR does seem to have a really good understanding of this map as well.
Oh, going a little on the inside there, but gets a good setup. And I think I like this approach too, where you're just not going as far up on the banked turns as the pros do, because you don't need to. You just need to get through the turn.
True.
And set up for the next one. Here in the drift, Majijej committing early. That's a great slide for Majijej, and she will almost go up into first place with that. Kenny on the inside of the sausage block. But Majijej with a better approach, having the lead before the last turn. This could go either way. Whoever gets the most speed up the hill will have it. Majijej extending her lead here, and she is going to take it.
There you go. Majijej getting her first win on Salmon.
10 points there, and she finally breaks through, because in the 2v2, they could not beat Kenny's pace here. She shows she can do it when it matters.
Absolutely. And now she's actually getting really close to Kenny. They're both going to be in that 50-point range.
Yep. One more win there. That's 4 points gained on Kenny, who still holds the lead by 8 points. So we head into round number 3.
As we start round number 3, we're going to see Baghera going a little bit wider to make sure that they don't hit that little hairpin turn. Now Majijej, once again, actually trying to push away here in the lead, fighting with Kenny. ZeratoR is right behind them. Who's going to get the best right-handed drift? Nina coming in with an aggressive drift right there, jumping up into first place. But here we have some of the technical inside lines that it seems like Kenny keeps getting more speed out of, but Majijej doing it really well. Is Kenny going to be able to maintain that lead?
What an aggressive line there for Majijej. It pays off. She gets closer. Here in the uphill drift, able to avoid the crash by adapting her drift line. Kenny still has the lead here by 0.3 of a second, but we saw Majijej gain a lot in the last round in the second half. Though here, with a small touch of the wheel, that's going to be a bit difficult. ZeratoR is going to pick up the torch, try to do the same. This drift right here, she had excellent in the previous round. Here, a little bit behind, but maybe able to secure second by sniping away that placement from ZeratoR. Oh, going for the jump, almost getting there. Kenny still with a dominant lead. Oh, ZeratoR almost off the track. That is going to be Majijej up into second now. Kenny takes the 10 points, but Majijej gets a 6. ZeratoR there to pick up third. Nina bouncing into fourth, and Baghera will try to get into fifth here.
That is actually getting really, really close right now because Majijej and Kenny both seem to have a good understanding of the different maps. And there only needs to be one map where Majijej can be consistently faster than Kenny, and she will actually get the upper hand.
Yeah, she needs to find out that ace card. And you said Buddha is coming up as the next map with the quarter pipes. Maybe that's where she can beat Kenny. She has played a lot of RPG maps with a lot of obstacles that do resemble what we're going to see on that map. Oh, a big crash for Nina there. Going a bit wide on the grass setup, and it's a 4-player race for the win right now.
Yes, but once again, we have the story that keeps being told. Majijej and Kenny fighting for the top as we take a look at ZeratoR here on 3rd place so we can get a more full view of the 2 players in top. Majijej getting the right-handed drift pretty well. Is she going to set up well for the dirt turns? Want to go as wide as possible here on this right-hander. You can see Kenny really trying to push it, honestly. Getting more exit speed than Majijej, and he's going to extend his lead.
He is, but he also took a very big risk there by going on the outside. That's where Majijej crashed last round, and you can easily hit the wall there and lose your entire lead. So he took a big risk to extend the lead. Now has a comfortable half-a-second gap, but Majijej is going to try to close it. Does not get the best approach there, and it might have to be settling for second here as Kenny is once again going to drive a great time, a 107, but Majijej drove her fastest time yet.
Yeah, she keeps improving, and that's, always something to take away from it, because if she can continue, maybe she's getting more in the groove,
Yeah,
maybe the next map is going to
sure.
show something else.
Now Kenny, 78 points, 22 away from reaching finalist. Will maybe come through on Buddha, and that is where Majijej is going to have to put up her final defense here to try to take the trophy herself.
Absolutely, and I think since this is the final round right now, everybody is going to try to push it all they can because Buddha is a very unique map in this map pack, and they might not feel super comfortable with it.
Yeah, and there are places there where you can crash where it costs so much time, like the engine off part, for example. That is
if you crash
very
there,
costly.
It
might ruin your entire round. So there are very punching spots there that it's not going to cost you half a second. They're going to cost you several seconds if you crash. But last round of Salmon here is on. Good speed into that corner for Majijej, but Kenny still holding the lead here.
Kenny maintaining a strong position throughout this entire map. And I think it goes to show that he's putting in the time, honestly, because he does have the consistency as well. But, sometimes you have maps that just suit your playstyle.
They do. They really do. And as you said, the drift is where Kenny shines. Here he gets a no slide. Watch out. Majijej's going to be coming back fast into this round. Equal just about before the last drift here. Can't hit the setup. Oh, avoids the pillar. This is still very close. Kenny with a better setup here, though. It might have more speed for the ending jump. Will Kenny take another 10 points? It looks like he will, as Majijej barely clocks it in second there.
And now we're going to be switching maps to that voting map we keep talking about, and it's going to be very interesting to see just which of the players are more comfortable with quarter pipe jumps, with the engine off block, and just also with the last section where you have to do a turnaround right at the corner of a checkpoint.
Yeah, and Jnic, I just looked over on the players and I saw some competitive looks coming through. They were staring at each other like, I'm getting you next map. We'll see. Buddha, this is where it's going to happen. Will we have the winner be crowned on this one? Or do you think it could go even further if Majijej gets the finalist herself?
So the question is now that even if you get finalist position, you need to be able to clutch it out. And a map like this can have some players be a lot more consistent than others because, for example, a quarter pipe jump, if you're not consistent there, you're just going to get overtaken.
Yep. You got to be on point on the jump.
Okay, we see the players in the warm-up.
In the first corner there.
Here we have the engine off. You can see Majijej also. So many crashes right now. Majijej did hit the corner of that road as she entered the engine off, and that's going to cost a lot of speed and at least like a second or a second and a half of time.
And here's the quarter pipe jump where you go up onto the ramp. And that, of course, the lower you go, the less airtime you have, the quicker you can accelerate when you land. So that is the name of the game.
If you guys can remember, the youth competition also featured this map. And all the kids there, they were able to execute that quarter pipe jump very beautifully with a low line. Some of them went for a high line to get that exit speed. And that's where we see some of the differences. Maybe we will see some of the similar techniques here.
Yeah, it is what you want to do, but it's so risky. So you can think like, am I really going to throw the round by potentially gaining like 3/10 on that jump? Or do you just go a little bit higher?
I mean, I always value consistency over pace, but I do want to say that a place like that, it's just such a big advantage if you do it well.
It really is. We'll see what they end up going for here. First things first, you gotta avoid crashing in the opening turns. Here, not making sure that you go too far up so you don't jump out onto the scenery there, and then this engine off turn here, the engines get shut off and you have to watch out for crashes. Majijej touching the wall a little bit there. You can see how slow that is since the engine is not on, and Kenny will have the lead before the quarter pipe jumps, but here I think we can see some mix-ups as all of them elect to go quite high just to ensure that landing. I think it's a good play.
ZeratoR falling off, unfortunately. So he's going to be jumping down to that last position. But Kenny, once again, seems to show that he also knows how to play this map and get those quarter pipe jumps down as we go into the final section where he has to jump and land on a left-handed drift and then jump into Nina with a little bit of a mistake, but she maintains that second place, and it looks like Kenny is going to take home that 10 points once again.
Does Majijej reach the finish? Oh, no! It was looking like she was going to get there, but we'll have to settle for last there. Unfortunate stuff, but still time to come back in the next round.
Majijej currently 30 points away from that finalist position, and Kenny is going to get it here next round no matter what.
2 points away, yeah.
As long as Kenny gets that final into the finish hit, he's going to be able to get that finalist position, and he has already shown that he's able to clutch out that victory on this map.
He has. The time he drove was fast too. 55 seconds, I think, beats most of these players' personal bests. Can he repeat that performance here? This time, Majijej with way more speed across the freewheeling. This is going to be great for her to jump up into second place. Now just needs to try to find time gains against Kenny. Maybe on the quarter pipe, she can try to go a bit lower. Try to fancy a jump. No, Kenny is the one going lowest of them all, and ZeratoR again off the side there. Bit too optimistic of the jump.
But at that point, if he was behind, he knows the scoreboard, he knows he has to deny Kenny, he's going all out.
Yep. There's not really much they can do here, though. Kenny will get finalist regardless, and he will, looking like, get first place in this round unless he fails the last turn. That looks great for Kenny. 10 more points, finalist secured. Majijej, the closest opponent, at 76.
So Majijej now has to hope that people deny Kenny for at least 3 rounds, as she will push herself up to finalist as well. And then she has to win against him herself.
Yeah, so it's going to be about 4 rounds where she either has to deny Kenny herself or have someone else do it.
Yeah, and that's difficult because Kenny is showing some consistency, and actually not just consistency, but fast pace on this map. So if we take a look at Kenny right now, we can see just what it is that he does to get just a little bit faster than the opponents. That's a very inside line coming in from Kenny. A nice left-handed drift, and he's setting up for a lot of speed.
Okay, and he has it. ZeratoR is off a little bit to the side as well. Kenny has gotten through the start unscathed, and you can see how much time he's gained. 1 second against ZeratoR. Now the low jump gets that great as well. Kenny said it earlier, that trophy, he wants it, and he's looking to take it this round as finalist. Not really anyone close in stopping him. It's all in his own hands right now.
All he needs to do is drive the final 10 seconds, 15 seconds of the map without making any huge mistakes. ZeratoR is the closest person to him, 1 second behind, and now he needs 1 more turn. Is he gonna be able to make it? I do think he is, and Kenny is the victor of the streamer competition.
Kenny gets the job done, gets the trophy. He was looking great in the 2v2, and here, happy smiles coming through as he is the winner.
Well played, well played. Let's take a word with Kenny.
So, Kenny, you said it earlier, that trophy, you wanted it. You are soon going to be getting it here. How does it feel to be the streamer champion of Arctic Gaming Experience?
It feels great. It feels just great.
How much preparation did you have coming into the tournament?
I did a stream of 2 hours before coming to Norway. Then I played in the player rooms here in Rapal. So I have like a week or so of training.
Well, that was certainly impressive for the time you put in. Once again, congratulations. Presenting you the trophy for winning it will be Ken from Nordland Kommune, and I'll let them do the honors.
Congratulations. Thank you.